Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever time you find yourself here and listening to the next presentation that we had of our webinar. This is the summary, the fourth and the last summary of our webinar series in confidence building. Hello, my name is Hannah Tarundwa, and yes, I hosted the last episode. It was on the 27th of May. It was really fun, and as the last webinar, it was quite epic. We had almost 20 people attend. It was really fun. And people really contributed and shared their hearts. So the aspects we looked at really was we were looking at the topic your authentic self, but where we started was what do we think people think about us, people's thoughts, and what people actually say about us through people's words, and then the things that we think about ourselves and the things we say to ourselves. And we also ventured into the impact that our environment has on who we how we see ourselves or how we deliver ourselves or present ourselves to society. And then I asked the question, where are you truly yourself? And then we finalized the webinar by talking about self mastery. So let me just go into the summary. So first of all, I asked, what do people think about me? So it was a question that everybody in the room had to ask. Like, what do you think people think about you? And it was quite interesting. You can still do it by yourself right now. Just write down somewhere what you think people think about you. And and this is what you think, not what people have said to you, but what you think, what you assume. Like when you walk into a room and someone looks at you and smiles, do you think that people are thinking, oh, this person is such a um she's fat or she's skinny or she's not well dressed? What do people think? What do you think people think about you? Or you think that people think that you're talkative or you're too quiet? In what? Just those things. And then we moved on to talking about what people say. And in this case, we actually said, what do people actually say about you? What have people come and said about you to your face? Whether it's negative, whether it's positive. And it was quite interesting. Like we had some people who had experienced harsh words from others. You do too much, or you're such a nice person. And we also had very positive reviews. People said you are brave, you're amazing, you're wonderful. Or some people would say you're too forward, or you are you're too quiet, or you're boring. So but again, think about the things that people almost always constantly say about you, or the words that people have said once and have stuck with you. So that's what we're looking at. Because whether we like it or not, the first things when we are born, the first things that we hear are other people's words towards us. Actually, we can't talk for most of 1 year of your first year of life. People are speaking to you. And so that's why we started first with people, because you are going to be living in a society. But then there's going to come a point as you grow where you now start seeing yourself and you start thinking about yourself. But what do you think about yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror, when you're alone? And I know a lot of people avoid being alone, but it's very important to have on off time where you are by yourself and you think about yourself. Like, what do you think about your skin, your thoughts, your actions, just who you are? If you haven't thought about yourself, I would suggest take a pause right now and give yourself like 2 to 3 minutes to just think about you, who you are, what you represent, why you are the way you are. It's important to give to nurture and see how you think about yourself. Because so a lot of us quite think of ourselves in a negative light. You are not enough. I need to do more. That's how a lot of people think. But we do also have positive thoughts about ourselves, like, oh, like, I'm great, I can do this. But again, like I said, take time to do it. Then also think about how you talk to yourself. How do you talk to yourself? Some of us, like myself, I speak out loud sometimes to myself. I'll say, "Oh, that was great, Hannah," or "That was not so great," or "That was not a great move." But sometimes, how do we speak to ourselves? Sometimes we speak to ourselves very negatively, like, "Oh, that was such a stupid thing to do, Hannah." It means I've called myself stupid. Is that a great thing to do? I think not. So we need to look at that. Also, write down what you say to yourself generally. Now, after all said and done, you've looked at how people think and what people say. You've looked at how you think what you think of yourself and what you say to yourself. There's also a very important aspect in life to consider, and that is your environment. Where you stay, where you're born, the company you keep. It's very important in determining who you see yourself as and what you are. It actually shapes your beliefs. It shapes your hopes and dreams. Where you're coming from shapes your hopes and dreams. So if you're coming from, and most of the time that's really the truth, right? People who come from poverty will might strive to get out of poverty, whereas people who are in wealth sometimes, and I'm not saying all the time, because they're used to the comforts of wealth. Sometimes they might not even like it. They might see the disadvantages of having all that you want every time, right? And might want to leave it, and might then appreciate the things that don't have really anything to do with wealth, such as the presence of people, just having commitment, and people that you care who care about you more than things. So they might appreciate experiences more than things. Whereas if you're coming from a place of lack and disadvantage, you probably see the importance of things more than experiences, because you've gone through tough experiences. So you would think that things might help your experiences become better. So, yeah, we looked at that, and just think about yourself, like your environment. Are you in a good environment? What sort of environment are you in? And if you are not in a satisfactory environment, or in an environment that helps you grow, how can you find your tribe, a group of people or an environment that can help you be better? And then we asked, I asked the question, when do you feel like you're truly yourself? Do you feel like you're truly yourself when you're with a partner, like in the first picture? There's some people, whether you're married or you've got a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a spouse, some people say, I can be my true self. But funny enough, during the webinar, a lot of people actually say they're not truly themselves around their partners, which is kind of sad. And they said that they are like that so that they can keep the peace, which really made me think. So I wonder, if I'm in a relationship, am I the sort of person who makes someone change themselves so that I they keep the peace? And I think we should ask ourselves that question, because we always look outward and say, okay, yeah, my boyfriend or my girlfriend, my wife, my husband, they don't accept me as I am. So, but I like them, and they like me, but they don't truly know who I am. Because if they did truly know who you are, then maybe they wouldn't stay as long as they've stayed, which is sad. Of course, a lot of people said they are truly themselves when they're themselves by themselves, because they know themselves, they know the good, bad, and ugly sides of themselves. Uh, but yeah, there were some people who said, yeah, even when I'm by myself, I try to pretend to be someone else to escape who I truly am. And then the last one was people who are themselves at work, uh, with environment, doing what you love, whether you are teaching people or sculpturing something, or you're a CEO, or you're a bus driver, whatever your work is. A lot of people say that that's where they truly become their true selves. So I would ask you the same question: in what circumstances are you truly yourself? At the end of the day, it's important to know who you are, And of course, you can never, no one 100% knows who they are. You are also on the discovery of self. But the things that you do know about yourself, they're important. And you should learn to master those things, because if you don't master who you are, someone else will master you. It's a statement that I heard when I was working at one of my old jobs. And I thought, wow, that is truly, truly amazing. And it makes sense. So whatever you do in life, just make sure, kind of know where you stand, have your values, your mission, your visions, your hopes, your dreams, your goals, and even your past. Accept it, whether it was negative or rosy, whichever, whatever circumstances that you found yourselves in. It's important. It's part of self mastery, because you then know who you are, where you're coming from, and where you would like to be. Or if you are happy where you are, it's still okay. The point is, you need to know who you are and master yourself and be truly, truly yourself. Because once that is established, then building confidence is going to be so much easier. Because I feel that the most confident people on earth are the people who can say, I am, and they know that they are, and they have integrity. They they can reconcile who they are. When people see them doing something else which they didn't expect, they'll be like, yes, I am also that. So you find that I always tell people, if you meet nine people who've met Hannah, they might have nine different things to say about me. And all of them are probably true based on the experience that each of them had me. Where did they meet me? When did they meet me? What season in my life was I in? So when you're doing confidence building, when you're building that home that you will say, yes, I'm confident in, this is who I am, it's good to master yourself. Anyhow, we have already started. By the time you watch this video, we've started the 12-week program, but the registration is still ongoing. So don't be afraid. I will put the link to registration in the description of the video. And please, it's self-paced, but we still have classes every Tuesday, 7 p.m. East African time. So you can come and join us. Even if you join us, you still get week one notes and things like that. We've got a learning management system that is super easy to use. And believe me, guys, this is the cheapest confidence building program you'll ever get. It's generally 30 US dollars, really, per month. So for 4 weeks, you pay 30 US dollars in total. That means 90, with a $5 registration fee for admin. But really, I do look forward to seeing you in class so that we can really explore all the four topics that were explored in May in detail. And we really get to the core and to the heart of who you want to be, to help you create your most creative life. So, from my heart to yours, love and light. Thank you so much for being here and for watching this video. And please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't be shy to visit opinionscreativity.org, where our website, where all our exciting programs are showcased. And if you've got any questions, just get the details from there. Until next time, bye. Just get the details from there. Till next time. Bye. Thank you so much for being here. And